Hello everyone and welcome back to another. In today's video we are going to be having a look at the characters we could possibly see on Friday. Of course the update has been delayed till Friday. We do know that we will be getting the patch notes tomorrow. That is no problem. Realistically it is because of a Korean holiday, so it is pretty standard. This does happen every now and again. It doesn't affect any of the next updates. It does mean we do have a little bit less time on whatever events they add, if they add any events. But yeah, it is never a problem, and it won't continue to be a slight problem. But in my opinion there are currently two characters we could possibly see. Of course we do know by 7DS leaks that it is another Ragnarok character, which means best place to look is the Ragnarok story, and I thought why not we go for, just have a look at a fan favourite, and that fan favourite is I need to actually skip through this cutscene because it's not even in this cutscene, it's in the cutscene after, which you can only get by watching this cutscene. This is of course the most recent Ragnarok chapter. Here we go, into this cutscene here, where we see a fan favourite appear. Of course there is Loki in this entire chapter, and Loki is one of those characters that we could possibly see. We'll go over Loki after we go over this next character. But they're basically in like place, as you can see, very hot. We'll skip one ahead. A couple ahead. One more. One more. I think this. There you go. Of course, in this chapter we also see Escanor, the one form, transform into a Ragnarok variation. I will say the animation on this Ragnarok chapter has actually been pretty good. And there we go, the one Escanor, but with a Ragnarok style outfit. It is very much like his default outfit, it's just a little bit more like ripped up. But there you go. That is my theory, that it could technically be Escanor. I do definitely think we will get a Ragnarok Escanor, right? I don't think they're ever not going to do that, because they've now made a version of him in the story. He's a very sought after character, and that Marvel are quite known for trying to please fans. You know, Eminence in Shadow was a very requested collab. We've got Eminence in Shadow, and we do also know that this next collab is going to be big. Realistically, the current leaks are saying Konosuba, which is highly possible because not only is it a super popular IP global, not even in Japan, but it's also quite massive globally. Solo leveling is not as big in Asia as it is in the Western world, but once again, IPs like Konosuba are big everywhere, so it is quite. They might actually make more, and that's probably the reason why they said they think they're actually going to make more on this current collaboration, or upcoming collaboration. They did the previous one. We're going to go back to the chapter 8. Well, we can see Loki. No, this is the Brynhild stuff. This one here. So, of course, currently in the game, we have this variation of Loki. This one here. I'm going to go auto set because I think we need melee on this team. We do. There we go. I'll put melee in the back, but Glocks up front for the defense boost. But yeah, I feel like if we're going to get a Loki, it's not actually going to be this one. This Loki, he does have an ultimate animation. He has level 2 animations, but he doesn't have level 3 animations. Of course, that doesn't mean because of the animations it's not going to be him, but I don't feel like they'll go with the berserk form. I feel like they're more likely to go with the current form we have in the current story, solely because I feel like that is I don't know, I feel like that's a cooler form to go for, and once again, you have whole new animations, whole new ultimate, everything could be completely different, which I think would be quite cool. Of course, I'm not saying that like if it is this Loki, he's going to have the exact same animations. I'll use Red Freya as a perfect example. In the story, she had double AoE. In the game, she had the same animations, but they were slightly altered to where one of them is now her single target and the other one is still her AoE. Of course, the effects will always change. The ultimates may possibly change, because a character never releases with the exact same effects as they have in the story, because that's just how it works. But yeah, we'll have a look at his animations. He does not have gold card animations. I checked before recording, so I wouldn't spend ages looking for them and they wouldn't be there. I checked. He doesn't have gold card animations, they just stop at silver. He does have an ultimate animation, which is pretty standard to see, I'm not going to lie. There we go, he's got 40% damage cap, so I don't have to worry about hitting him too hard, and if I do, he's still got a revive, so it's not too bad. Yeah, I would. I'm gonna start because I feel like Loki as a character would be really cool. But I just really want another Escanor. Of course, it does make sense also for it to be Loki, as Loki is a giant. Like Skuld, even though I don't really. I guess how Skull's a giant. She is technically little, and then she can transform into a large thing. But that shouldn't mean they're a giant. But I guess that's just how they've done it. Once again, they can change it however they want to fit the meta, and I do feel like making her giant, even though it doesn't really make sense, is very healthy for the game. Actually, I think it's the most healthiest thing they've done for the game in quite a while, solely because, I don't know, it's just a very cool thing to do. Having giants usable in all content instead of them just being restricted to the odd, I don't know, final boss or knighthood boss is really nice, and it's just a breath of fresh air being able to use them for a change. Once again, as you can see, he's giant. We'll have a look at his ultimate. He's got gold animation here as well, which you can see. It took me ages to get one last time, and of course I get one now pretty quick. He's going to target Glocks. Because Glocks has got ultimate. That wasn't good for Margaret. Okay. As you can see, that was the gold skill. No special animation, no nothing. Which is what you would expect. Some characters do, so Heimdall, Salos, all of them do have, those two do have gold card animations, which are like the close-ups where yeah, it's a longer card basically. And that's how you can normally tell if a character will most likely get a release. Also, his cards don't have art, which doesn't mean anything, but some characters do have art on their cards, and normally they have also gold card animations as well. Once again, Salos and Heimdall, they both have not only gold card animations, but their artwork for their skills are there as well. But yeah, there you go, that's his ultimate. Do I feel like it'll be Loki? Probably. Realistically, I would love a new Escanor, because I feel like Escanor... I know we had like UR Escanor and we've had Light Escanor's Relic of recent, but I do feel like a new Escanor would be quite cool. Humans aren't currently at the top of the meta. Technically, it'd also be Ragnarok as well, which I think would also be pretty good. That means he would actually work with Skuld, he would work with Brynhild, he would work with Brynhild anyway because human, but also work with Hel and Freya and Tyr and those lot. I think would be pretty cool. His Relic is really bad. We'll actually have a look at Escanor's Relic. If it is the one Escanor and not a new variation, which most of the time it is, I don't think... do Ragnarok characters share variations? No, they do. Don't worry, they do, because Lost Vein and you got Blue Lost Vein. So yeah, but Escanor's Relic is the definition of mediocre. Not only does it only work in PvP, but it's only ignore 30% defense, which is basically nothing, especially in today's meta. But once again, the characters don't really need their relic sometimes, or not designed to have their relic. You got Red Yorm for Rat, when her relic only works for Deer, stuff like that. So relics can be irrelevant, but the characters can still be quite good. But yeah, once again, let me know who you think is going to be in the comments, and yeah, we'll have to wait and see tomorrow in the patch notes. Goodbye.